gotta, get together. Still gotta leave.
Right, right. So,
We might as well take care of business.
yep, what it is.
Oh man, you can't do that.
Look at King Moshe over there.
You can't do that.
Shoot, King Moshe, he don't want to get down.
No, I ain't got no problem.
Let me get my charger. Cause then the phone gonna start ringing. Gonna turn that. It's all right. That's how you know when the devil behind something. About this morning. Because I think that if anything, this is a conversation that definitely need to be had. And if you know about it, you know about it.
Right.
You see? If you know about it, you know about it. Now, so the first thing we're going to do is that this was just the foundation of it is that my thing is this. We say it all the time. You can't live your life in the desert, okay? There are many things in this 21st century that people are going through that our ancestors never even dreamed about. You understand? That's why when the Bible starts talking about there shall be such great tribulation as was not seen in all of the history of the world, neither shall it ever be seen again. You're talking about a multiplicity of things that are going to roll out in this 21st century that if you got your head stuck in the desert trying to mimic the life of your dead ancestors who got those blessings while they were living, making choices, using their common sense and the Most High's wisdom. See, this is where our people are at. While the world is building robots and drones and facial recognition and all these technological advances as a means to corral and put people into place to where they literally become subjects or as cattle or as property.
True.
This is what's happening. The pharmaceutical industry that's ruling the world and tampering with the mental programming of people to where they're no longer able to think for themselves. They don't understand that, you know what, if you go to the doctor and he prescribes you some opioids and that's in your hospital record, they don't understand that now you will be classified as somebody with mental disorders because that is what these particular products do. They mess with your mental programming and all these side effects they make you fully aware of, and you still go and do it anyway. Right. Okay? Right. So the thing is that you'll have people, this is how you know you got a sick, twisted type of mentality. Yeah. You'll come on and you'll say something negative about somebody smoking weed, but you'll go and fulfill the prescription that somebody that you ain't never seen before day in your life telling you that you need to eat this because you eat that.
True.
Now,
True.
So my thing is that when we start dealing with this weed factor, we're not dealing with the weed factor from the standpoint of what's going to be good or what's going to be bad for anybody. Every man got the choice to make whatever decision he wants to make with his life. I only hope and pray that he uses his common sense and his own thinking ability rather than being programmed by the things that people are doing in this world as they pass laws. Oh, it's a law now. Oh, it's legal now. So now all the fags come out of the closet. Oh, it's law now. Oh, it's legal now. So you see women with women. Oh, it's law. It's legal now. So every unimaginable thing that can happen in this world is happening because of the laws that's being changed. So when you look at who these things are designed to impact, most cases, it's us. Yeah. The rest of the world gonna prosper.
That's true.
But you ain't.
That's true.
The Bible itself tells you that the people that will be recognized as Israel, they shall be the tail and not the head. Well, every now and then you got a few of us that slip through the cracks that are able to make something, out of. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to point and show people that the people that own the banks, the people that control the people in politics, that's changing the laws.
Right.
These are the people that are going to benefit because though you may have a few sprinkles of brothers, the vast majority are the people that's going to benefit from it are going to be those that will oppress.
Yeah.
Us in that manner.
Of course.
So that's the whole purpose that the conversation It needs to be had because if our people, if our people that smoke weed can become witnesses of all of the brothers throughout the years since the 70s, because my pop said wasn't no weed around in the 60s. He said all they did was drink wine. He said, but from the 70s up until now, talking about, shoot, 40, 50, 60 years from, look at how many of our people been locked up.
Yeah.
And we become witnesses of that.
Yeah.
So my thing is that if you can see all of that negativity come out of what we was doing when we was selling the weed trying to survive, and then you can see them now making it legal.
That's crazy.
And they got to let all our people out of prison. Well, when you combine the numbers of the people that went to prison behind selling weed, when you compare that to the amount of money that can be made when you can get the whole world smoking weed, hey, that's not only I'm gonna let the people out of prison, but we're gonna change the laws too.
Yeah.
Just so we can do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's always about how they can get money out of us. You know, we make anything populate or grow. You know, so yeah, it's designed to be around us to make them the maximum amount of money. And then what the world don't understand though is that other nations actually smoke more than we do. You know
Yeah. So which leads me to another point, because this my thing is like, okay, if you've been smoking weed, now I ain't telling the whole world no. Not only do the whole world on social media know, the FBI that's watching know. The CIA that's watching know. The people on my block, the people in my neighborhood know that I'm dealing with drugs all my life. And I done smoked weed for a major portion of my life and started off as a young man selling weed so that I could assume the responsibility for myself. So that right there ain't no secret. But here I'm saying is that there are many of us that come from the same place because at the end of the day, we all come from the same place.
Right.
Poverty. Now, if I can see all those things happening and then I'll turn around and go into a store, into a dispensary, and now buy it from the person that once was locking us up,
that's crazy.
I'm a damn fool.
That's crazy. And that's the cycle. That's the cycle that they run out here on us now, that they can make it legal, just like liquor. You put it in the store and we'll go buy. But liquor was once legal too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but here's the thing: the liquor and the alcohol was not a destructive force to us. It was a destructive force to their own people.
Right.
That's why they went through the prohibition period. That's why they banned it. That was starting to kill their own kind. But like I'm saying is that history have a way of repeating itself.
Right.
If our people don't go for the mental program that's going to be strategically aimed at them and they not buy.
Right.
If I'm a smoke weed, I'm smoking, I'm getting it from the same brother in the hood that I've been buying it for.
And that's how we are. You know what I'm saying? In other nations, they sometimes see weed is like a gateway for other nations, but not for us.
Right.
See, they like a certain field, a certain high. That's why they pop pills and do certain things that take them to the extra. So with weed, you know, they GMO it, they add extra stuff to it, they butane, whatever they do. You know what I'm saying? They make sure they try to make it as chemical as possible now, or they're trying to mimic it, and it won't have the same substance as the original plant if you would have grew it yourself with the natural sources. So like I said, it's a lot of different fake stuff to it. It's a lot of it's a lot.
You know, I tell you something crazy, man. I tell you something crazy. Look at so the sole purpose for them pushing the weed, what's behind it? I mean, what's their number one reason? We know money is the motivation, but they got to be using a catchy thing that make people say it's okay.
The drag to them.
Huh?
You talking about to be dragged?
Yeah, to really be able to put it in the law, they have to have an extremely good reason.
I mean, because it's such a popular drug that they can't get rid of it.
So when you use the word drug, you have to tie that to it.
Man, They try that to every other drug, but see, they
okay, but when you start looking at every other drug, all drugs are tied to what? Even it's a word in the Bible that expresses it. Where the drugs come from. All drugs are tied to a word.
Was that a plant?
Pharmakia.
Okay, but what I'm saying is like now, when I think of drugs too, I'm thinking of certain levels of drug. When you got street drugs, and then you got the pharmaceutical drugs. That's what I'm going to get to.
The street drugs are not drugs. They're just classifying them amongst the drugs.
Okay.
Like weed ain't no drug.
No, weed ain't a drug to me. No.
But it's being classified amongst the drugs. I'm trying to show you something.
Right,
it's being classified amongst the drugs because the pharmaceutical industry is tied to the medicine. So the good thing that they will use as a means to loophole people into it is they will use it as medicine. But now common sense tell you, look at the medicine that's being made and the effect that it had on the people.
And that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of pharmaceutical, like there's natural resource doctors out there that will try to subscribe to you more natural herbs, but like, there's a point in time to where they was knocking them off.
Are they legal? They're not outlawed them.
They trying to knock them off and get them out of there because every medical license signed by Rothschild. You know what I'm saying? Like all your doctors and all your anything that's in the medical field, you can't get your license unless it's signed by Rothschild. So they have a certain program and protocol that they have to stick to. And when you're talking about natural resources and things that actually cure the body instead of prolonging it or leaving it dormant, you know what I'm saying? That makes more money. Curing don't make more money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So this is where they was knocking them off and trying to make sure that they don't continue to practice in that field. So like I said, it's a big. You think that all these other drugs is formed and made to have you hooked to where you gotta keep coming back and gotta keep spending. But weed, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how they gonna do this with weed. They gotta be giving out the bullshit.
But you know they gonna do it. You know they gonna do it.
They gonna, but yeah, they gonna. But
you know they gonna do it. They gonna
be trying to pass the BS, and the doctors might. I mean, I don't know. The doctors might have a gateway to having the good stuff for the curing. But I mean, I bet you I don't know how they're going to play that out because that might make prices higher or whatever.
Now, I agree with you. I agree that they're going to have that medicinal marijuana that's going to be used for purifying illness. But here's the thing. That will be to them who can afford it because this game is about to be so massive that you know what? And so it's like, you know what? When it comes to the rich, they're going to have access to the thing in its purest, in its rawest form. But when it comes to everybody else, it's going to get lower and lower. But by the time it get down to us, see, if black people going to continue to smoke weed, the only way that they're going to continue to do it is they're going to have to deal with people that have that they have always dealt with. They're going to have to deal with people
that you always know and dealt in trust.
Them people that's growing their stuff naturally. Or you're growing it yourself naturally.
You know what's in your stuff, and you know ain't no extra something being added.
Now, let me ask you this question. Do you think the average person that smoke weed is going to be growing their own stuff naturally?
No, and the reason why I say that because most people are third, fourth, fifth, sixth parties. You know what I'm saying? Getting it from by the time it get in your hand in the community, it had already been past the grower, past the buyer, past another buyer, then the seller, and then down the line. So by the time you get to it,
and then all of these people are exposed to these same different levels of tampering with stuff.
And some people do tamper. Some people. Man, the game is dirty. Any game is dirty when it comes down.
It's not to get dirtier though, because see, listen, all throughout all these years, the weed game was always clean because it was never nothing to do with it.
It wasn't even that.
You didn't need to do nothing to it, but roll it up and smoke it, or put it in a pipe and smoke it, and that's it. But now, even the people that's passing the hands are being exposed to all of these different things that can be done to it. So my thing is like, you know, I already know I ain't ever gonna be a weed smoker again because
it's not for everybody either. And that's why I tell people like, like everybody don't like eat, ain't gonna eat meat. Don't eat meat. Don't start eating meat. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't gonna like.
Right.
There's some people not just want to start eating meat, but they don't want no product from an animal.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna stop nobody from doing what they want to do.
Right.
And you're not gonna force somebody to do what they don't want to do.
And you better be careful not to be trying to pass judgment on people for what they do and you don't do.
And you can't, because you don't know what level or place they are at in their life.
Right.
So you don't know what they have to get out of that life learned lesson that they're going through right now. So you can't judge what a person is going through, because you gotta wait for the outcome.
When it come to being judgmental, you know what? We've been a part of every type of mental program that the world have ever knew about it. Every form of mental program have been practiced and put on us. You understand what I'm saying? So we done become a part of all different types of stuff. And this is like I said, is that, you know what? How can you be judgmental, pass judgment on anybody when you've been in that condition? You've been a part of everything.
Look, in Israel, I guess when you become, like, you know who you are, you get a sense of pride. It's really what it is.
Don't God hate pride?
Yeah. And you will feel like...
What part of the book did they forget that?
It's a lot of part of the book they forgot that. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is that, you know, people talk, I don't think I'm better than you, but it's how you, it's actions speak louder than words that I've always been taught. So I watch people.
Right.
So you can say one thing, but your action gonna show another. And that's what I'm gonna go off of: your fruit, your actions, your works, how you act towards your brother, how you act towards yourself. You can say all you want, you know what I'm saying, that you know, this way or that way, but your action is showing.
Man, I just see disaster coming, and I see it about to be amped up on another level. Now, we got one brother, he said that, now I got a young brother that lives in Colorado, and so when I was up there, I had the opportunity to go into one of those dispensaries and just really see. And I said to myself, you know, I even got to put my nose to some jars and everything, but you know, out of all them different names and stuff, I kept coming back with the same thing, King. I'm just the same thing. I said, man, this stuff ain't right.
No.
Hey, listen, man, I've been smelling weed all my life. Boy, I was a weed connoisseur.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't I go back in time and was exposed to different strands like back in the day. Gold bud, red bud, Colombian gold, Sesame, you know what, indica. All the way up until when this Kush came out. Then you came an explosion of different strands. Purple Kush, blueberry, sitting on top of the house. You know what I mean?
And then that's another thing too, is that, you know, we got the mixing seeds.
Yeah, that stuff ain't right, man.
Yeah, people got to.
Because you know, even if you start doing that, you're creating products you're creating stuff that didn't normally naturally grow. And I believe that's one of the reasons why weed ain't like it was back then. Back in the day, you know what? 3 or 4 of us could be smoking on one joint, rolled with a zigzag paper, and all of us would be high and laughing and got the munchies and everything. You know what I'm saying? Man, please. Man, whatever. You smoke this stuff now? I told my wife, I think it was probably about when we first started dating. We've been together for 18 years this month. And I told my wife about in the first year we started dating, we get ready to go out on the town, right? I remember my past. I ain't smoked no weed in a while, but I'm going to get the blunt. This is this new weed that came out. I've been away from. It ain't the same. Man, I pulled out the driveway and I was stuck in front of the house. And I told her, don't you never let me smoke that weed no more. You know what I'm saying? It was another time that I hit that weed and I was telling her, man, I think I need you to take me to the hospital. Cause you know when I tell people, man, if I get that, I'm gonna have to rush myself to Truman. Yeah. Man, it was the weed was different. It was an explosion of different strands. It seemed like the weed was 10 times more powerful than anything I had ever experienced.
You come from a more natural era. You understand what I'm saying? You dealing with an era now that you get everybody scientists now.
Anything goes. You trying to see?
I'm telling you what.
Are they trying to go to the moon or what?
Oh yeah, they got something called moon rock.
Oh God!
You understand what I'm saying? Hey, this is crazy. You take some real fire nut, and then you dip it into the THC. Then you dip it into it's like the wax. It's like the keef. It's like a whole mixture thing. By the time you get through, it's all THC though. Mm-hmm. But by the time you get through the thing, you look like a meteor rock. It's like a real meteor. Wow. And it's like crystalline.
So how did they smoke that?
Man, they either break it down and put in the crumb some of it in blood.
But man, why would anybody want to be that high?
Listen, I don't even know. But you know what I'm saying? Everybody creating shit nowadays, so you know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling what.
Why would anybody want to be that high, man?
That's what I'm saying. They took it past your natural airway. And then and now, you know what I'm saying, they found the way to just go to.
Have you ever heard of that one stuff? What is that one stuff called?
I'm saying okay too. Or something like that.
No, this is outside of the weed family, but they smoke it. I seen it on YouTube. It was, I forgot what it was called, man, but.
And it had them going crazy.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it neither, though.
But you know what I'm talking about, though.
But see, that's what I'm saying.
They be going crazy, and it probably lasts for about 20 or 30 minutes.
This is the era, like shit. I'm going to say, like, since 2010 and up. This is the era where black people now start messing with crazy shit and pills and shit. We wasn't always, our people wasn't dealing with stuff.
I know it, man.
But we get be hanging around these other people doing what they doing. And then we get involved in stuff like that because we don't be walking around stuck and club. Now, the ones who used to do that, they used to be on that deal. Used to be on that wet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we used to talk about them. Like, bro, don't mess with bro be on sticks. Mm-hmm. That's who that right there, it was the drug at that moment. That's why I say around like early 2000s. Up to like 2010. But 2010, niggas started getting more and more on that lean and more on pills like Percocets and Molly. You know, like niggas wasn't doing all that stuff.
No, we just
smoking all that. Like,
we wasn't. I got a brother on here called The Destroyer is Coming. He said, "Do you know medicine was sent here to help your pain? Medicine is in the Bible."
I mean, he agree. You agreeing with us? That's what.
Well, of course, of course, that's common sense that we understand that medicine is in the Bible, and then it's in some places that's it's even greater detail. Sirach 38 chapter tell you to honor the physician with the physician that's due to him, because the Most High have anointed have blessed them with a skill. And he said he has the ability to create medicines out of the earth. And there are times to where in his hands there is good success. So we understand that medicines was a good thing. But my thing is that our people keep missing the part. Right. Where there was going to be one that would take the good things and make them into evil. Who had changed the truth of the Most High into a lie. Of course, the medicine was good, but the medicine that was good and natural for us in the earth had been outlawed to the point to where the people of the Most High couldn't have access to it. And now that the medicine that was once good for us, that was outlawed, is now being legalized so that they can take that which is good and make it bad. So if you don't readjust your thinking and understand what's strategically happening, then you won't be able to draw lines of distinction, and you'll march into that place with the mindset that all medicine is good, but you don't have the mindset that the one that had the medicine that was good took the medicine that was once good and tampered with it, and now is about to feed it back to you. And that's the whole purpose of the video.
Facts.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what we're trying to say, is that we know that even like we said, the coca leaf is cocaine, right? But what happens though? They added ether, right? Then
Yeah.
nobody know that if you added ether to the coke leaf, you get these two compounds that come out called cocaine.
Right.
You got scientists behind that took a natural anesthesia that if you take the leaf and crush it down yourself and put it on the wound, it numbs and heals for natural surgery when you if you was out in the jungle somewhere. They took that and added ethering, and now this is how they keep track of all the big coke dealers. Why I know my father was a drug lord. I know this. They take ethering and track anybody who buy big quantities of it because that's how you make cocaine. So they took something that was good, the coke leaf, and made it bad. They did this years ago. They never made it legal, but they sure brought it over here and made sure that it touched the streets.
Right.
Now ask yourself this. What they about to do with weed though? That we know that weed is a natural healing when it comes to hunger, when it comes to aches, when it comes to all kind of things. It naturally helps because of the THC, the things in it. But once you extract that and you start creating your own, what you think you about to get?
Right.
Now you're taking away the natural resource.
Right. Right. Yep. So yeah, and so we just yeah. And see, I got one brothers on there. The brothers say, well, these brothers, they high right now. So let me tell you something. So what if we are? What does that have to do with you? How does you proclaiming that we are high right now, how does that impact your life? How does that impact or exemplify the righteousness of the Most High that you were supposed to be living by? See, that's the problem that Israel is having. Israel wants to focus so much on the things that are around him that he ain't got the time to focus on himself. He can't use his brain in the way that it's supposed to be used. Now let's think about your name. The destroyer is coming. That your name exemplify the destroyer is coming. But when the destroyer get here, where is your mind going to be? Because it don't make no difference where our mind is. I could be high out of my mind and still clocked into the spirit of the Most High while I'm making a video. But what happens in my life don't have anything to do with what's going on in yours. So even if that been the case, and not saying no bad thing, just using your comment as a springboard to dive off of, to bring some other things to the forefront. This is one of the problems that our people got. But what I do in my life, it don't have no impact on yours. Everybody's supposed to be concerned about their own life.
And I would like to ask that you said that. Now, when you say that, can I ask you this question? Is it because you're judging by my outer appearance that make you feel that? And that's what I like to see. See, I deal with the psyche of the people, man. So when somebody automatically says such of that nature, and you're not even here with me, but judging by my outer appearance, it made you feel like as if I'm high. So therefore, since you feel that by my outer appearance, your judgment, now you get to try to make a false judgment to try to claim yourself as if you're better or not. But it's okay, my brother. You know what I'm saying? I understand if you think that I'm hot. Because you know why? I understand. I dress like a kind of guy that like to get hot.
And so what? Give me the blunt. Let me smoke it right here on the screen. Let me smoke it right here on the screen just for an example that, listen, when you talk about living your life, this is my life to live. The Most High give it to me to live. It don't make no difference what nobody think about how I live my life. The only thing that matters with how I live my life is where I'm at in my mental thinking, in my mental thought process, and where I lined up with what the Most High tell me to do as far as exemplifying his righteousness in the world go. So with that,
look, if I was sitting here though with a suit on and then I was groomed up,
it'd be different.
Would I be high till you still then?
Or would you go in the dispensary and declare that the people that you're about to buy the weed from?
Right,
you
right,
see
right,
what I'm saying?
Right.
And what does it mean to be high anyway?
I mean, I be understand the psyche of my people, man.
So we just talking. This ain't got nothing to do with my brother. We just talking in the wind, okay?
Right.
We're talking to anybody that's on a different, anybody on this particular wave of thought. We're not talking about you. Destroyer is coming. So most of the brothers and sisters, when they ask questions, we ain't talking about you. But sometimes we get the opportunity to dive off of the response just so we can express some other points. We
still
talking about the weed.
Maybe somebody else may be thinking the same thing you thinking and then didn't say it.
Right.
So therefore, we addressing the situation because this is the whole point. All right, we as a black people, you understand, they trying to make weed legal. But who are they trying to appease though when they making this weed legal? My people, right? They try to make it about us black folks. So when you trying to make it about a certain nation or a certain race, we come with a certain standard when they got a statistic in their head already. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, like right now, I got a fitted on, chains on, long hair. It would automatically, guess what? A police officer might drive by and might think I'm high already because of what I look like. You understand what I'm saying? But then not knowing though, you have lawyers, doctors, judges that are smoking, bro. And would nobody ever think that they're high?
That's cold. That's what it is. That's what it is.
You understand what I'm saying to you? That's so we got to understand though that this thing for other nations, they're slicker than what we are. We gotta have an understanding. He said, "Be wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove." We gotta understand and use our thinking. You can't judge off the outer because I know doctors that go surgery high. Doing surgery, and they not just high off of weed, they high off of other oxy, all them other things that they prescribe to their patients. They high off it. They know what them pills do.
And then we go right in there and lay on the table.
And have him
but we look at each other and say, "Oh, you just smoked the joint. Oh no, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that." But please, you got somebody, we about to open us up and just got through eating 2 or 3 pills, and they show you this stuff on TV. The condition that these people be in. They show it to you on TV, all of them. The one of them got a bottle of whiskey in his drawer, you know what I mean, before he can even function. But when it comes to each other, and we try to protect each other by having conversations about the things that are real. And that's the whole point of this whole thing. It's about having conversations that's real. Because if you don't come out of the desert of the Bible, talking about what your dead ancestors done, and start looking at the world that you are living in and start functioning and operate in that world with some thinking ability, you're going to be in trouble. I don't need nobody on this thread come and try to quote no scripture at me, period.
We know scripture.
This is what it is.
We know scripture. And then the thing is, does that make you more of a Hebrew because you know scripture?
Nah, it don't make you nothing. It's what's gonna make you is what you can live by.
Right.
See, and that is what we attempting to do because we understand that the Most High, okay, the Bible calls this, here, man. You hold this. Sit right here and hold that. I gotta go and get me another charger. Talk to the people for a minute. Help them try to understand where I'm going. I'll be right back.
As many points the elder trying to go, but
hey, respond to those comments to the best of your ability too when you see them. If you got somebody to ask a question or something.
Let me see what y'all got out here. Bro. The word has a hole. The word has a hole, has an addiction problem. You have to make that make more sense to you. Why? What's not true? See why you're gonna have to make that last comment make sense. Listen, Hebrew. Listen. Alright. The thing is that we always want to quit the judge our people. And just like you judged me, you just thought I was high, right? But like I said, we got people that dealing with real drugs, bro. We got a lot of people dealing with real drugs that sit up here and it's actually taking Oxycontin, like we said earlier, Percocet, and so many other. Matter of fact, these people get addicted to Tylenol. People get addicted to Advil. These are all still drugs. People are like, I ain't never did drugs before. Well, I'm going to promise you, you have. If you ever took a pill for headache, a pill for pain, any kind of pill. But this is what we're saying though. Any one of them drugs can get you addicted because it's man-made. Weed is now being tampered with. So if somebody addicted to it, you got two aspects. If they smoking out a tobacco product, they addicted to tobacco, and they addicted to the weed that's been put in that chemical. The chemical that's been put in that weed. So when you start looking at the asset of, damn, everything's been tampered with, but we understand that the hemp plant is a natural plant from the earth. You understand what I'm saying? So if we gonna judge, we have to judge correctly. So if you were willing to go lay down on that hospital table, like we said, and let a doctor work on you while he was just doing drugs, drinking, and everything else, then you're gonna have to understand is that you're now putting your faith, your life in the hands of a drug addict. You understand what I'm saying? If that's the case, if that's how we're gonna look at this thing, Hebrew. But what we do know is scriptures, and we ain't gonna get stuck by just reading scriptures and not living our life right and accordingly. What's the point of knowing these scriptures and you don't go live it? What's the point of watching our ancestors, reading about our ancestors and what they did when they was living, but we're stuck in a dead mindset, not living while we're alive, but we're reading about what our dead ancestors done today while they was living then, and they're dead now, and we ain't moving, we ain't doing nothing. Everybody's scared. Ain't nobody busting a move. Don't nobody want to go build for real for Israel. Don't nobody want to come and really bring this thing back together as a whole. Don't nobody want to do that. Everybody sitting around judging and crying, talking about, oh, this matter and that matter. And just I'm judging you, trying to judge the whole situation, but can't judge a situation.
Let me show you something. We about to hook a charge up so our phone don't die, which brings me to another thing, and so, okay, no wonder.
And so,
hold on, King, I gotta get this. Don't want my phone to go dead, so I'm gonna charge it up. Put this battery in there.
And I got a question to ask. One more other question. Since I carry a gun, does that make me a killer?
Nope. It don't make you a killer.
Does that make me a murderer?
It don't make you a killer. Shoot, but you know, my thing is like this. Here's my thing is that I don't take none of the things personal. Try to just look, because the reason why we do these videos is not so we can antagonize people, not so we can justify what one person think is right versus what another person think is wrong. Right. We do these videos so we can create the conversation, to start provoking people to start thinking. Okay? Because we can get real technical about a lot of different things. Let me show you a technicality that this would put people in an uproar if I brought this to the forefront, but some things I only bring to the forefront depending on certain situations. So, being that we're dealing with the weed, now, we know that the Bible say that the Most High created herbs, and then we know that when everything is reinstituted, then it's going to be the trees and the herbs and the things that have the healing properties in them that are responsible for the healing of the nations. But now, to some of our brothers and sisters, because this is the argument that being had, but it's one that don't be talked about. Now, which would it be better? Would it be better to literally go and eat the plant? Is it a plant for smoking or indigesting? Here's the key. One man gonna have his opinion. One man gonna have his opinion. Another man gonna have his opinion. Now here's the point I'm making. It don't make no difference which opinion each person got. The person with his opinion, he's supposed to go into the world, and then he's supposed to live by that and exemplify the Father's righteousness through it. The person that has another opinion is supposed to do the exact same thing, and the person that have another opinion is supposed to do the exact same thing. So we can get into a broad scope, but I'm dealing with the issue of things being set up as a systematic scheme and another form of assault against the particular people. That's our people. And my thing is this. The whole purpose for wanting to provoke the thought on this is to make our brothers and sisters think, okay, my daddy was convicted of selling weed. And I grew up selling weed because our people smoke weed, but the weed never caused our people no massive damage. I even smoked the weed myself. But it did become a source of income for a lot of brothers and sisters along the way. Now, they locked our people up for these things. And they put our people in jail, put our people in prison, and then put bad labels on us like we were drug addicts, thugs, criminals, and the lowest scum of the earth because we were dealing with the weed. Now you're going to look at the same people come back and try to pacify you by saying, oh, we'll let the people that we convicted out of jail. What about all the people that went to jail and died without ever getting their just due? What about all of the people that went to jail separated from their families who had hardship because of the loss of their income? What about them? What about the people that's going to get out of jail that's not going to be compensated for all the weed money that they have lost when they got locked up for selling the weed? Right. What about our people that got kicked in on that had probably 20 or 30 pounds or 20 or 30 kilos of weed that could have produced money, not only for them, but for the other people in the neighborhood that they would help for their families that they got locked up? What happens to them? You think they're going to be compensated for all of the money that they would have made over the 20-year process from selling weed that you now gonna legalize? And if it ain't bad enough in that sense, look at the brothers and sisters that are turning around, aware of all of these things, being captivated by the TV commercials and by the billboards and all that, and walking right into the dispensary of the one that locked you up. And he have taken the good thing that was good and then tweaked it and then hybrided it, and now he about to feed it back to you to destroy you some more. And you ain't got the sense enough to see what's going on. And if you think that for 1 minute that the companies like General Electric and Goldman and Sachs and all the people that own the banks, the people that own the land, the people that own the property, you think that they're going to now allow a way to be made for the one who these things been done to? Hey, it might be a couple of them to slip through the cracks, but you ain't going to see Michael Jordan going to invest $300 million. You ain't going to see Oprah Winfrey going to invest, because in the minds of black people, it have already been put in our mind from the use of these things that we was criminals and that we was thugs and that we was this, that, here. You ain't going to see them people that have the money to do these things come back and do them as a means to raise the people up that was once classified as criminals by it. And now you won't even look at the white boy that's owning the dispensary selling. You won't even look at him as a criminal, but you look at yourself as though, oh, I ain't a criminal no more since I can go and buy the weed. You know what I mean? I can go and buy the weed. It's legal now. I can ride around. I can smoke the weed, pull it up next to a police officer. Well, that makes you a fool. That makes you a fool. Because the cop that was pulling our people over, putting them in jail for weed, he was on crack, he was on heroin, he was on opioids, he was on every kind of drug imaginable. And he also was the ones planting the drugs on our people as a means to destroy us. And now you're going to tell me just because they come back and put legal on something that you are now going to bypass your brother, who it was his livelihood, and he had to take chances on his life because of the labels that was put on him, and you don't bypass him now and walk into a dispensary and spend your money with somebody that have done all these things to you, all because you've been programmed with the mindset that this is legal.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
You see, so that's the area that I'm coming from. It don't make me no difference what nobody do with their life. Everybody got the right to live their life however they see fit. My only thing is that you better start living it.
True.
You better start living it.
True. True. And stop reading. Just stop reading about what our ancestors did and why they was living. Now it's time for you to take what you read and go actually apply it.
Go live by it.
Live your life. Go do right. You know what's right from. That's why he said it's written in our minds and our heart. We don't take our culture. We don't take this book lightly, but we don't sit up here and get stuck to where we don't go live it. You understand what I'm saying? So if he said it's written in us, then that means that you ain't got to spend all day thinking that the more you read, the more you're going to be a greater Hebrew. No, the more you get when you get understanding, it's time for you to go now.
You gotta go. You gotta live by it. You gotta live by it. Now look at the exceptions to the rule. Now it's one exception to the rule that I'm fully aware of, and that brother name is Bishop Don Juan. Most people know who Bishop Don Juan is. Bishop Don Juan's old pimp. He probably about 70 years old now. Old pimp, been in the game. You know what I'm saying? Capitalizing off the misfortune of our own people, you know what I mean? But nevertheless, you know, you live the life that's given to you. His life changed around. He found the purpose in his life as far as, you know, spirituality go. But you know what? His life was his to live. When it opened up that thing, you understand what I'm saying, and made weight, that's one brother that capitalized on the weed game. And I seen it on YouTube that he got weed dispensary and he got, you know, he making money. Let's put it like that. But that come from a brother that been making millions of dollars for a long time. That's not going to happen to the average person, because in order for him to do that, he already had to have money and be sitting on a pile of money from the jump in order to be able to capitalize. But that's not going to happen. So for the brothers and sisters that can't capitalize in a financial way, don't you know that they're talking about this weed game is going to be big as Amazon?
That's crazy.
It's going to be big. It's bigger than Amazon was in its early stages. It's on the stock market. That means that the people that's controlling this game are going to be the corporations of the world. But guess what? Now, when we really start thinking, we really start understanding the scripture. We start understanding the scripture.
Right.
Let me show you what's happening. Right. I ain't gonna hold you too much longer, King Moshe.
I know you good.
Get that. Go to Deuteronomy 32. So for our brothers and sisters that read the Bible, let me show you something about what the Bible says, just so we can realign our thinking. Now, you can't just read the Bible without having your mind renewed. So the purpose of reading the Bible is not to mimic the things of our dead ancestors. The purpose of reading the Bible is so that we can have our thinking transformed. Our mind can be provoked to thought. Read Deuteronomy chapter 32, start at the first verse. And let me show you what's about to happen that our people ain't paying attention to. And if you're reading the Bible and you say you're serving the Most High, you're supposed to be aware of these things so that you can understand how you're going to navigate through these systematic things. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 32.
You know what? Yep, go ahead.
Give ear, O ye heavens.
No, it ain't 32, it's 30. Read 30. Yeah, it's 30. Deuteronomy 30. That's going to be good.
Deuteronomy chapter 30.
Yeah.
And it shall come to pass.
It shall come to pass.
When all these things.
Are come upon you. What things? Go ahead.
The blessings.
The blessings. Those things we experienced up under Joshua and up under Moses going into Joshua and then up under King Solomon, up under King David. Them was the periods of blessing when they come upon you. And what?
And the curse.
And the curses. We're talking about being sold into slavery, loss of identity, all these things. He said, and it shall come to pass when all of these things have come upon us. All these things have come upon us already. Go ahead.
Which I have set before thee. And thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations.
And that's what we do. We've been out calling them to mind of the things that we have been through as a people among the nations. Go ahead.
To which Yahweh, the Lord thy God, had driven thee.
And that's all the places that the Most High have scattered us. So all over the world and all the places that the Most High have scattered us, we'll call these things to mind on behalf of our people. Come on.
And shall return unto the Most High thy El, and shall obey his voice.
Now, this is key, because not only is not good enough for you to know, you must know and you must return and you must start being obedient to the things that you know. And that means that you must start living by the things that you're learning. Come on.
According to all that I command thee this day.
See, you can't say nothing to your brother about anything that the Most High command if he have commanded you and you yourself ain't living by things, robs you from the right to be able to do anything. But it's not about your brother. It's not about your mother, not about your sister, not about your father. He is speaking to us as individuals being obedient to the things that he has commanded us, not to my brother. My brother has to be the same responsible, have the same responsibility as I do. Go ahead.
Thou and thy children with all thy heart.
Now, if you're going to teach somebody, he said, teach your children how to be obedient to these things. Go ahead.
And with all thy soul.
Uh-huh.
That then the Most High thy El will turn thy captivity.
Now you're talking about the Most High reversing our circumstances. If it don't look like our circumstances is being reversed, it's because men are talking, but they're not being obedient and they're not exemplifying what they're learning by living in the world that they're living in. The Most High said when we start doing this and we truly start being obedient and exemplifying his righteousness in the earth, we don't have to say anything to nobody. That demonstration will be coupled by the Father's demonstration in the world of reversing things on our behalf. Go ahead.
And have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations where Yahweh thy El has scattered thee.
So he is returning and gathering us right now. It's not a physical thing. It's a spiritual thing that's happening. He is regathering us in our thought process and bringing us back to spirit first. Go ahead.
If any of thy be driven out unto the outermost parts of heaven, from there will the Most High thy El gather thee.
He said, because my spirit is not confined by time and space, it don't make no difference how far my people have been scattered or driven them. My spirit will reach them and gather them. Go ahead.
And from there will he fetch thee. And the Most High thy El will bring thee into the land which thy father possessed. And thou shalt possess it, and he will do the good, and multiply thee above thy fathers. And the Most High thy El will circumcise thy heart, and the heart of thy seed, the love of the Most High thy El with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live. And the Most High thy El will put all these curses upon thy enemies.
Read it again.
And Yahweh, or the Most High thy El, will put all these curses upon thy enemies.
Read it again.
And the Most High thy El will put all these curses upon thy
Read
enemies.
it one more time.
And the Most High thy El will put all these curses upon thy enemies.
The blessings and the curses have been called to mind. The spirit of the Most High is in every place that we've been scattered, simultaneously raising up the descendant of the slave. Now the descendant of the slave is in his house teaching his children about the things of the Most High as it relates to the scriptures. Okay? He said, but when we come out and we start exemplifying that righteousness and those things that we are learning, which are according to the book, he said, then I'm going to reverse the captivity. We are no longer captives anymore because we can jump on the plane and leave. We're no longer captives by our thought process because now we're thinking on our own. He said, and then I also will put all these curses on thy enemies. When we were smoking the weed, they declared us as drug addicts and dope heads. They declared us as criminals. He said, but now you better be careful not to get in the Father's way. He said, because the same thing that they put on you for a curse, I'm going to cause them to put those same things. I'm going to put those same curses on them. So what I'm telling brothers and sisters, if you want to smoke some weed, you better go back down there to the local brother that you knew that was in the hood selling the little weed that he could get, because 9 out of 10 times those weeds that come in little form, they ain't been tampered with. But if you're going into some dispensary, you best be careful, because those same curses are about to be put on his enemies. And while they are taking the weed and growing the weed and using all kind of chemicals and using all of that stuff and hybrid and everything, hey, listen, it ain't meant for you to be in the dispensary. If you're in the dispensary, it's only because you lack knowledge of what the scriptures say. If you really understood what the scriptures say, everything that they heap up to themselves, you would withdraw yourself from. And if the dispensary's going to make millions and billions of dollars, let it come from the hands of their own people, that the Most High's word might manifest itself. We don't want our people going crazy with this hybrid weed.
No, we don't.
What they gonna say? What they gonna say about knowing what the scriptures say? You know what the scriptures say, but you better have an understanding of it. Right. With all I get an understanding. The Most High said, all these curses,
that's right,
I will put on them. What comes next?
That's what he said. He said, forgive me. He said, and the Most High thy El will put all these curses upon thy enemies, and on them who hate thee, who persecuted thee. And thou shalt return and obey the voice of the Most High.
You see? Now you start talking about returning and obeying the voice of the Most High. That means that when the Most High, when his word go out there, you have to hear that thing. You don't fight against it. You don't try to justify nothing. You don't try to judge nobody. You hear the word and then you go out and respond to it. However, the Spirit is speaking to your heart. If the Spirit is speaking to your heart telling you to quit, then you quit. If the Spirit speaking to your heart telling you to avoid the dispensary and go to your brother, then that's what you do. But don't get your wires crossed into other people's lane, and understand that these curses that we have been through, the Most High is manifesting his mighty hand in the earth right now. Look at all of them dying of opioid abuse. Now all of a sudden you ain't seeing them fill the prisons up. That's why they dying. They wasn't going to get sick and fill the prisons up and put their people in jail. So the Most High said, well, I'm just going to allow them to kill them. They put us in jail, but we still live. The opioids is killing them. That was a curse that they put on us. The heroin addiction is killing them. That is a curse that got put on us in the 70s.
Right.
And there ain't no telling. There was far more things and far more curses that's coming. But the brother that don't have understanding, that's why I tell people it don't matter how much scripture you know. It matters how much you live by. And if you didn't never learn but 2 scriptures and you're able to go out there and build the foundation of your life and your decision making around those 2 scriptures, you don't need to learn no more. But if you learn the whole book
and do nothing and don't live not one of them words out accordingly, or you might do some here but rip the pages out of the other part of the book and don't live that. What that made you, or Coty, you know what I'm saying? So while you're going out there and trying to figure out who is smoking weed, you know what I'm saying? That's the least of anybody's problem. We got too much more things that we have to be looking at of what are they really trying to do with this movement. What are they really trying to do, like you said, from a brother who naturally grows his own plant, who understand that this plant will help with certain type of things that person is dealing with in their body. And then that what's so crazy is that we ain't the only, hemp, the male part of the plant, the male part, people don't pay attention to that. That's what they start calling the CBD. They already hopped on that part to where they already are doing, making millions off of millions right now from dealing with the hemp CBD, the male part of the plant, because they understand that all of this is a profit. You can do so much with hemp. You can not only from helping the ADHD and anxiety and hunger, pain, and all these things. The list go on and on now, with that stuff do.
Now, how do you think they learned that?
But you make clothes.
How do you think they learned it? That's the key. How do you think they learned it? I tell you how they learned it. Because out of all of the attempts to bring destruction upon the black man, they learned it. Yeah. They said something is keeping these people together. Mm-hmm. Okay, they're children. They ain't depressed. Mm-hmm. Something keeping these people together. Something is keeping these people together. Okay, we didn't have access to counselors, but we did have access to a joint, and nothing ran depression away like the smoke a joint of weed.
Right.
Next thing you know, anything making you laugh.
Right.
Nothing ran that thing of bad appetite and dysfunction in your body like weed give you the munchies. Sinus. I was allergic to sinus pills. Weed will come and dry up all of that stuff. It wasn't a matter of just trying to get out of your mind. It's that these things are what was made available to those that was a part of it. They did it for a reason. Now, as I said before, I'm not in the habit of justifying or condemning. I'm just purely making people conscious of what's happening at the hands of these. We know that, listen, European people are the only people that can profit from pain and death. Let me ask you a question. If brother like you, brother like me, if we own Philip Morris, the cigarette plant, and the way the world is now, and they knew, like it is now, that the cigarettes was killing people and causing cancer. Do you think that we would be allowed to operate our business and funnel our product into the world if people was dying from it? Do you think we would be allowed to do that?
No.
Do you think the Chinese man would be allowed to do it?
They probably do.
You see, the thing is that only people that can profit from pain and death is the European. Look at how many people that have died from prescription medications and have sued the pharmaceutical industry.
People that overdosed on Tylenol, kept saying earlier, Advil.
What happened to them companies?
Aspirin, like they get sued, but they still there.
But they still operate. Their product is still on the shelf, and never mind the fact they can come on TV and tell you, you know what, if you take this product, it could create 10 more side effects that's gonna make you even sicker. Listen, and they still can operate no matter how many people die, no matter how many people are dead. If you couldn't do that, they will be building prisons. It wouldn't be enough prisons in the world. The whole nation would be locked up.
Yeah.
And so my thing is that when you really start thinking, you have to say, wait a minute. These people been profiting from murder and from death throughout the whole history of their existence. Why on earth would I ever think that I'm going to be able to go into their dispensary and get something that's going to be good? Even if they put it up under the guise of medical treatment, when you look at how many people have died at the hands of the pharmaceutical industry and those major companies,
I don't trust them.
they're the only people that can profit from pain and death. So you better understand the scripture when it's talking about. The Most High gonna put all these curses on them. So what that weed is legal? That weed that they done legalized is the weed that you need to stay away from. Anything that's being sold in a store, in a gas station, in a dispensary, anything that's being sold in the hands of our Arab brothers in the local community that don't give a damn about you. If it's being sold in there, then stay out of it. If it's being sold in a dispensary that done popped up, stay out of it. If it's being sold in a grocery store, anywhere it is being sold, other than from the hand of your brother who been taking a chance on his life in the streets. If you don't get it from there, then guess what? That Bible say not only will them curses be put on your enemies, but them curses are going to be put on all that hate him. People say, I don't hate the Most High. You know how we hate the Most High? We hate the Most High by not walking by what he tells us to walk by.
Right.
You see?
Right.
And one of the first things that he instructs us is that we love him. And when we love him, that love for him is exemplified through the love of our brother. Yeah. He tells us don't bear false witness on your brother. Don't you use your brother. Mm-hmm. Don't you slander your brother with your mouth. Don't you murder your brother's influence with your mouth. Right. Don't you steal from your brother. All of those things that we say about the Most High have to be exemplified in the way that we treat each other. But this is the conversation that needed to be had, right, because this is something that's happened. This is about to affect our whole community. I'm telling you, Mr. Jordan said he got word that the brothers and sisters is what they call in Colorado zombie land.
Yeah, and that's
because they're not selling the stuff that we grew up smoking.
They selling some. They on something else, and that's what I'm saying is that when the other people get involved, y'all know what they do, and you know that sources is slim right now, so they're about to make they quick any way they can make it quicker and faster. that's what they gonna do, and everybody know cloning is so quick. Boy, you can clone and have your stuff have that stuff grown out within half the time it normally takes for if you regular grow it, and they know that. But it doesn't matter because this is what we get hooked on. This is what we get sold on. And so we're not even telling nobody. We're not saying that, hey, go smoke weed. But we're saying if you smoking weed, then just go holler at your brother that that's doing it. They ain't get all that
stuff. If you
smoking
it, if you don't smoke it, that's then fine. Don't smoke it.
But then don't say nothing about that person smoking.
But
if you turning around and taking Tylenol, aspirin, if you taking ibuprofen,
those things are far worse.
Man, you understand? Hell, even what's that thing that my wife say when they Motorol when they on their flower, that Midol, and boy, that do wonders for them, numb up they pain. Listen, this is all drugs. Mm-hmm. This is all drugs. You understand what I'm saying? Like people like, I don't do drugs.
You see, weed ain't no drug.
Right, that's an actual.
Weed ain't no drug. I would never even classify weed in the same boat as a drug.
I'm gonna say this. You know why weed can't be a drug? Because it has its own patent already naturally from the earth. Mm-hmm. Drugs are patent. You understand? They are taken, and scientists has patent. That means they had took compounds and other, which is chemicals and other reactions, and put them together and created this substance that we have now today. But when you're looking at the natural seed, it has its own the design already. Just like if you find any other flower or plant, when you go find shrooms, how you think they found them damn shrooms? You have crazy people going out here eating shrooms, bro. They're eating what was naturally grown from the earth. You understand what I'm saying? We got people that doing the most to find out what is and what isn't.
And see, here's another thing. When you look in the book of Enoch, it tells you that with the fallen angels, it said, and the women taught their sons different things. Mm-hmm. And one of the things it taught them is the cutting of roots. Mm-hmm. It taught them how to create drugs out of the earth, how to produce hallucinogenics and things of that nature, how to take and formulate things out of the earth to produce sherm or produce mushroom or mushrooms, show you all of those things.
It produces poison. It produces hallucination. It produces anesthesia. Man, the earth produces so
all of them things that were good have been taken and made bad. Man. And in the level of what you're talking about, healing properties, the weed is the last one. They already got the tomatoes that are responsible for clearing the body of infection. They already got the brown rice that has the same healing properties. They already got the apples that's got the properties of detoxification of the liver. They already got the pineapples that have the properties of clearing up mucus and sinus. They already done cleared out the avocado and got a hold of that has 10 properties that can heal 10 different illnesses. They have already gotten a hold of these healing properties by genetically modifying the food. So though the tomato may taste the same, they have taken away from it its ability to kill the infection that happens in the body. They have already done these things, period. The last one was the marijuana plant. It is the last one to be genetically modified to the point to where the healing properties are extracted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And now you just getting high to be getting high, whatever you getting high
just for. Like you eating food.
Right.
You eating food, but you don't have the property. In most of the cases, brothers and sisters, when they're smoking weed, was completely ignorant of the properties that it had. Right. But you know one thing, it was something that made you want to smoke it.
Right.
Because your body felt good. You had so much laughter and you ate so good and you slept so well. You understand what I'm saying? That you understood that in certain situations that you could do this. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's the last one, and I'm telling you, if we understand what the Most High said that He was going to do, we would know it would be a season that we're going to have to go into self-preservation, whether we start finding a way to grow our own food or whatnot.
Man, that's what it boiled down to, Elder, is cultivating, getting back to cultivating. And that's what I'm working on, and that's why I advise all other brothers and sisters out there is that you start cultivating, because guess what? Now you know what's in your food. Now you know what if they adding something to it or not. And to be honest, you ain't supposed to be having food that's reserved for so long anyways. It's supposed to rotten out and die and go back into the land and replenish again.
Now you got something that'll stay in the ice box. Stay in the ice box for 2 weeks. Still look the same. Now, it's different. Now let me show you something, because your enemies, they wise than that. They smart. They teach their kids. That's why you got places like Whole Foods. You ain't going to a Whole Foods store and buy no tomatoes and buy no lettuce, buy no cabbage or nothing and leave it in there more than 3 days.
No.
It better be eaten by 3 days, otherwise it ain't no good. That's how you know you got real food. But look at what they done. The average person can't even afford to buy real food. You gotta buy poison.
Yeah, it's expensive, because that's what I go shopping there. And look, check this out. I just had this debate the other day about elderberry. You feel me? There's some elderberry at Walmart, and there's some elderberry at the Whole Foods. Everything, the packaging and everything looks the same. But the elderberry at Walmart is like water, almost like juice. And the elderberry at the Whole Foods is thick like syrup. And that's the real one.
And it's another one, because I wanted to get me some prune juice. And when I went to get it at the Whole Foods store, I think whoever got that prune juice at, I paid for like $6 for it. Maybe $4 for it. When I went to get that prune juice at the health food store, it was almost $15.
Yeah.
Guess what? I didn't even leave with the prune juice. I didn't buy no more of the other, but I didn't leave with. The point I'm making is this. I'm showing you how these people operate. That when they put them things together, it ain't for you. It ain't for you at all. You can't even afford to go in there and buy it. You can't afford to go in a whole food store. And most of our people on food stamps and stuff like that, and most of our people got mediocre jobs.
And they're not taking no food stamps.
They can't go and buy like that.
No,
they can't go. They got to go to Walmart and they got to buy cheap, a lot, and cheap of whatever we can get. You see what I'm saying?
You know why I know?
Ramen noodles ain't got no healing properties in it, period.
Because I shop at Sam's Club and I shop at the Whole Foods, and I see the major difference in it because I shop at both. Yep. Because I have to buy, because I have children. I have mouths to feed, so they eat by the bowl when it comes to oatmeal and cream of wheat and cereal and stuff of that nature. And I have to buy by the bulk, eggs, bulk. You know what I'm saying? So, and when I look at it, I realize how much more unnatural their fruit is and things of that nature there.
You can't get
compared
nothing.
to when I'm looking at the Whole Foods.
Every store. And a lot of our people still don't know it. That every single thing that you buy in the grocery store or Walmart is fake food.
It is.
It's fake food, man. I'm telling you, man. I was over there last year and I dropped some tomatoes that I had got from Costco's. Those little tomatoes. I had dropped the sack and a couple of them fell out the package. Man, after 3 months, my wife looked down there. She said, "Look, that's the same tomato, ain't it?" After 3 months, man, that tomato looked just like it was the day that it fell out of that package.
They preserved
and we eating this stuff like we eating food, but the thing is that it don't have the healing properties that it was supposed to have. You know that when the Most High created, and that's why that book says that it's called the Mother Earth, because out of every man, every woman was taken out of the earth. Okay, we made it the dust of the ground. That means we born out of the womb of the earth. And then everything that man needs to survive grows out of the earth.
Right.
But man, now everything that they buy. And so you know that a lot of our brothers and sisters either don't know it or they can't, because when we go into the Whole Foods store, how many black people you see in the Whole Foods store?
Ain't many.
I ain't never ran into more than 3 black people.
I'm gonna be honest, that's a lie because I'm counting myself. If I'm gonna count 3, I'm counting myself.
I ain't never ran into more than 3 black people in the Whole Foods store. Out of all the times that I've been there. You see, but you go to Walmart to get some little accessory stuff, you see everybody that you knew in the community and everything, and then everywhere. But I ain't never seen more than 3 people in the Whole Foods store. And that lets you know that either our people don't know that they can't buy nothing. I don't care. The healthiest fruit that you can buy out of the grocery store is not real. It's fake. It's genetically modified. Every store, every grocery store is dealing with your modified fruit, modified. And when you go to Aldi's, people think that Aldi's food is organic. Don't you know that on them both sides of that aisle that Aldi got all them fruits and vegetables, only the middle part, only that small middle part, read up there, only that small middle part, it said organic food. That's it. So you might have some tomatoes on there, you might have a kiwi on there, you might have some celery or something like that, but all the rest of that stuff, it ain't organic. It's genetically modified too. So, but we're just bringing it to the forefront because it's going to be different with the weed. But the reason why is because the weed, the marijuana plant, it was the last. Look at all the millions of acres that they burned up, that they just set on fire when they found them major fields going. Look at all the money that those people lost. Millions of dollars of street value marijuana that they just set on fire and burnt up. Now, they are taking them people's land, and now they're going to grow them same crops back to make money off of. Right. Selling them in their dispensaries and their stores. And their number one target is going to be who?
Us. And we're going to be the one that locked your daddy up, your grandpa or uncle up. We're going to go right back and buy from them now. Now they selling it back to us.
Now, don't that sound funny when you're looking at the scripture? It says, you know what? Jerusalem, Jerusalem, now they stoned and killed the prophets. I would have gathered you like a hen gathered chicks, but you wouldn't let me. And they say, well, surely we wouldn't have murdered the prophets back in the day if it was us. We wouldn't have did what our forefathers did. Yeah. He said, fill up ye the measure of wrath, for you indeed are the children of your forefathers, that you can bear witness to all of these things that was done to your forefathers, and then join and walk hand in hand with the one that done it. That's why the Bible ain't nothing to mock, because though hand join in hand, the wicked shall be punished. And you join your hand with the wicked. Yeah. While you trying to live in this world up under science fiction and talk the scripture, then your destruction is going to come right along with him. So we wanted to open up the video just because that customer came this morning, was telling me and sharing some things about what they strategically doing with this marijuana game as a means to keep black people out of it.
And be careful about judging by the outer appearance, because like I said, you going in, that same doctor or that lawyer or judge that you putting your faith in could be high off that same substance.
Yeah, you can rest assured that he's high.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely high.
They be shooting in
because you know what, if they thought that they felt like drugs was good for black people, anything that black people ever looked like they was having fun with.
Oh yeah,
but they got to be. They can't be left out.
They got to be part of it. They
can't be left out.
They need to know.
They can't be left out. Mm-mm. So now that they wanted to part in the weed game, and they took over that weed game, let them have it. Let them have it. Let them go and buy it from their dispensaries. Let their own people be partakers of those things that they done created. Let their own people do that. Let them have it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm gonna tell any brothers, even if it means you gotta quit smoking weed. If it ever get to the place to where the only place you can get some weed is from the dispensary, it's time to quit.
Yeah, cause you don't want me.
It's time to quit.
You don't want there, man. If you just grow your own, man. If that's the case, grow your own.
It's time to quit.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Or quit.
Cause I don't know how you gonna convict me for growing my own when it's legal.
You know, grow your own, smoke. You know you ain't taking in all that extra chemical. Mm-mm. You know what I'm saying? Cause that's what's gonna kill you. Cause then you gonna start hearing about weed killing people next. And you like, hold on, we ain't never killed nobody before. And now you
Yeah.
gonna start hearing somehow we killing people because
Yeah.
what they
Yeah.
put it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
man,
Now
like,
listen,
for
I was
real,
just at the
listen.
doctor not too long ago, and he asked me. I said, man, every now and then I might take a puff. He said, well, I know even though you don't smoke marijuana, he said that now they legalized. He said, I think it ain't never caused no cancer or nothing. He said, but I do believe in the future they're just gonna start creating some health problems.
Yeah, oh yeah, they gonna
That
start.
came from the mouth of the doctor.
Yeah, they gonna.
That came from the mouth of the doctor. So basically, he's encouraging and said that's how you can pretty much tell when you're dealing with some stand-up people because they don't always have to go out of their way to tell you things that you don't need. You know what I mean? You'll find some doctors in the game that are still genuinely
honest.
concerned and honest and preoccupied with healing the body, you know. So he's like, well, you know what? That's good that you down. You ain't smoking that much cigarettes no more, but keep your overall aim to quit. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
and this, that, the other. So those are some good advices. But there are some doctors, they understand what's coming.
Yeah.
They understand what's coming. But there are some doctors out there that work for the system. They don't give a damn. That's why the representation of the hospital got two serpents going up the pole. You know what I mean?
That's
so the people, the powers that be, they're going to use this last thing, the last thing that they have access to, which is the marijuana plant, now to destroy the healing properties that are in that plant. And by that standard, if you take something out, they're going to always put something back in it that's unnatural. And at the end of the day, it is designed to program your mind. Mm-hmm. So, to the brothers and sisters that's onlooking, if you encounter a situation and you have to go to the hospital, if they can prescribe you some Zantac, and then you can be found filling the prescription, because they can track everything. If they can prescribe you some opioids and you can be found filling the prescription, if they can supply you with any of those drugs that are dealing with depression, and you can be found filling the subscription, if you can be found getting those drugs for ADHD for your children, you see what they're strategically doing is they're taking the prescription medication, and it already has a label stamped to it. And if you can be found purchasing it, you will now be classified as one that fall up under the category of having a mental disorder or a mental illness. That automatically takes your right away to have a weapon. You see?
Right.
That automatically does that. It's automatic. You ain't getting no means of firearm and nothing like that. So these are some systematic things that everybody better be paying attention to. And in these last days, it's going to get rough. It's going to get rough. So some of us going to have to learn to live with the pain. Mm-hmm. Rather than be hit with those type of things right there.
That's just what it is, family. I mean, there's no way around it. You're just going to have to figure out, what are you going to do in your situation. So, you know what I'm saying? Know where you at. And know that if you do smoke, or let's say not even smoke, let's say if you even eat it in your brownies, or you put it in your butter and make whatever you want to make out of your butter, put it in your tea, put it in whatever you use, make sure that it's natural,
right? And
it's not coming from our oppressors.
Now I'd be scared in Colorado.
But
because you can't even trust the brothers up there no more. But them dispensaries,
you can't.
They done made it so cheap. Boy, you get an ounce of weed that look like the Fire's Kush for about $99.
Yeah.
Something like that. They gonna go out there and sell it like they've been, doing or whatever. I think you can only buy so much. Mm-hmm. So they ain't gonna let you make no money off the dispensary neither.
No.
Because they got a cap on how much you can buy. You can't go in there and buy a pound of weed to go in the hood and sell. You know what I mean? So that's a good thing. But they let you know the extent of their greed, that they want to make all the money. Yeah, I'm just saying, when you see things like this, man, you gotta be conscious. Your money cannot become fuel to people that's going to put more destruction in your community, in your neighborhood, and do all this damage to our generation of people coming up. So just about there. We just wanted to open up that line of communication. Thank everybody for their comments. You understand what I'm saying? We don't want nobody to take nothing personal. We ain't telling you what you should do, what you shouldn't do, what you can do, what you can't do. We're telling every man that he had to be held accountable to the Most High to exemplify that righteousness, the Most High's righteousness in the life that he is living. You see? And all of us have something in our eyes. What determines what we have in our eyes is how we deal with it. As long as I'm looking at the mirror at my own self, I only have a mote in my eye. But when I take my eye off me in the mirror and start looking at my brother, my mote turns into a log. And so we adjure to everybody, keep your focus on your own life and allow the word to start working on you. Allow the spirit of wisdom to start coming into your common sense so you can make decisions that you need to make amongst your brothers, amongst your sisters. We still got dumb stuff like people get in the Bible and start reading, and now you can't suddenly stand your cousin because when he come around, he got a blunt. Or you can't stand somebody that's doing something different from you. Well, nobody have to do what you do. Only thing you have to do is be responsible for yourself and try to let the Most High's righteousness exemplify that. Now, when we look at the Most High, I might smoke weed. Somebody might smoke crack. Somebody might drink. But we do all of those things on a daily basis in the presence of the Most High. And he's still walking amongst us. He see what we do. He know where we at. He understand our thinking. Yet he himself is not judgmental on us when it comes to his love for us. His love for us overrides all of the many different weaknesses and areas that we struggle with on a daily basis. And if you say that you love the Most High, that's going to be exemplified whether you're able to walk among your brothers and sisters that do not do what you do without you thinking that you are somehow arrived at a place that is a little bit better. So every tub got to sit on its own bottom. I want to thank King Moshe dropped in on us today. So that was a good opportunity for us to attack a subject that really has some substance to it, that you can walk out of your door and really feel the effect of it. Because everybody going through the same thing. Ain't nobody on this thread going to tell me that they ain't surrounded by people that smoke weed. You ain't going to tell me that. Riding or walking. Because all of our family do some things. Even us, ourselves, do some things. Because we're living in this life. So we don't tell the brothers and sisters it's time to stop all that science fiction mess. It's time to start getting out here in the world, living amongst the brothers and sisters and exemplifying the Most High's righteousness. Not with a spirit of judgment, but by a spirit of love for your brother and sister that's able to look past whatever we think. Because just what we think a fault is don't mean that that's what a fault is. So we got to first overclimb the hurdle of our own personal thought process. So stop looking at that stuff on TV.
That's right.
Yep. Right. So, all right. Peace out.
Peace out. Shalom.